be sharing them as well. And I think there's just something so special about somebody all those years ago having used it. The next compact that I'm going to show you is this one. I bought this in a bundle of compacts on Vinted. The other thing about me, in general, not just with compacts, is that I have an obsession with getting a bargain. I love to collect rare, collectible vintage items, such as my magazines. Many of those are Japanese. But I don't like to pay the price for rare, collectible vintage items. I like to pay significantly less if I can, as little as I can. For me, a lot of the fun is in the bargain, and if you're wondering where to start with a vintage compact collection, and I feel like I should not be telling you this because this is my domain of where I like to go vintage compact hunting, but it is Vinted. Vinted is definitely the best place to go if you're starting to look to grow your collection. As and when I can, and as and when I remember, I will tell you what I purchased the compacts for. So the compact you just saw, the Mother of Pearl, was on Vinted, and I purchased that for £12, I believe, including shipping. I got this one in a bundle, and it looks slightly strange. This is what the bottom tray where the powder would have been looked like, and there's the mirror. It's quite grubby. It's my belief, because of how the insert of the powder looks and just this style in general, I believe this is a 1920s or a 1930s compact, early 40s at the latest, personally. I am not the most amazing compact historian, so feel free if you are to correct me in the comments or give me your knowledge about any of these compacts that I own. But from what I most often see, this sort of style is most commonly seen with compacts pre-1950s, and to me that fits with this sort of Art Deco style that's going on with this compact. Next up, I am showing you one of my favourite compacts. This is a Stratton compact. You will see a lot of Stratton as we go on in my collection. I own the majority of what I own, probably, is Stratton, and that's because they are a British compact brand, and they were not, on the extreme high end. They were sort of the everyday woman's compact, so they're still very, very accessible to be bought today. So this one has ballerinas on it. However, there is a reason why this compact is so special to me. It's got powder still in it. I'm going to try my best to show you. I don't know how easily you can see that, and obviously it's back to front for you, but this says to Pearl, 17th of December 1957. So it has an inscription. Inscriptions for me, and you'll see more compacts in my collection with inscriptions, are the Holy Grail. If I can find a beautiful compact that also has an inscription, it makes my day. Next up is a Stratton compact. This compact represents a rather major regret that I have. I try not to have too many regrets about vintage purchases because they stick with me for a very long time. But this does represent a regret that I have. This is beautiful. It's been completely cleaned out. It's in, apart from a little dent here, it's in pristine condition. And I bought it for £1.50 at a car boot sale. Now this woman had multiple Stratton compacts for sale, all for £1.50. My mind, I believe, has blocked out exactly what else she was selling, because if I remembered, I would probably be even more devastated. Why didn't I buy them all for £1.50? We It's very, very dusty, so I'm not going to keep it open for too long. A smoke of dust just came out as I shut that. So similar to the Yardley one, this is a Coty, I think is how you say it, C-O-T-Y, compact. And on the back of this it says it's cream powder, and it's the shade Magic Bloom. If I open this one up, again you can see the little Coty compact sponge, and it's also got quite a lot of powder in there. The funny thing about this one is that the powder is very pink. It's very pink. Next up we have probably my favourite and luckiest ever vintage find, which is this very large enamel Kiosh compact. I got this on Vinted in a bundle for £15. As you can see, it's a very large compact. It's still got a little bit of the original sponge in there. It's just in really, really beautiful condition. The back has got a little bit of wear on it, a little bit of wear. Kiosh enamel compacts tend to go for a little bit more money, and they tend to more be 20s, 30s, 40s. I've always wanted to own a Kiosh compact like this, and because they go for quite a bit of money, I didn't think I ever would. To follow on from that, here is another Kiosh compact. However, I'm sure you can see this one is significantly more damaged. There's a lot of wear marks on this one. This is the first Kiosh compact I ever got, so I was still really happy to get one, but yeah, it's quite damaged. This next compact is from a brand that I don't remember the name of. This is the only compact I've got of this brand, and it's never been used. This is a completely unused compact, unused sponge, and here are the instructions as to how you would put the compact in. It says, when using cream powder, simply push in your refill or replace the refill liner. To remove or replace, refill lever out by inserting end of nail file into the hinge slot facing the arrow point. So I don't think this is a particularly interesting design. It's quite a common sort of black and gold design. I have another few. Similarly with this one, this is not a particularly interesting compact. My mum picked it up in a charity shop, and I just can't resist if I see them, ridiculously priced out in the wild. The back looks sort of like a Stratton, but not quite. There's no Maker's brand in it. This is just another sort of very common floral compact. This is one of my personal favourites. This is a Kiku compact with the horseshoe and lucky clover diamante on the front. What I'm going to do is open it up, and it's got this little, and it springs open, and there's the Kiku compact in there. Again, not particularly interesting. Just another floral design. I think this is a Kiku compact, however. Nothing on the inside. Kiku, the way I would sort of say it is Stratton was the every woman compact, and I think Kiku was slightly up from that a little bit. They tended to be more expensive and see the base of this, which is quite dirty and I've not been able to get it up. It's just the classic swirl, which indicates more of a 50s compact as opposed to the stars that are the 60s. What I quite like is there's makeup smears on the inside. So this next one is a fabric compact with this really cute little basket of flowers on it. I'm not sure as to the date of this. It's got quite a difficult hinge. It's quite hard to pull off. And then it's just again got that classic sort of style, and it's got the powder still in there. I'm trying to go careful so I don't spill the powder out everywhere. This comes with a matching mirror, the sort of long mirror that also folds over with this print on it. So this again is a compact that I think's unused. You have a look at that, and then I take this out. To me, it doesn't appear like anybody's ever used this one. I think this might be a slightly older compact again because there's no hinge or there's no clasp. You just sort of have to pop and pry it open, which usually indicates it's a slightly older compact. And this, I'm not sure if you can really tell, but it's needlepoint. So this is the first of the 3 compacts that are actually family heirlooms. I believe it's my great aunt that owned this. And again, Stratton with the stars on the back, so I think this is 1960s. If I open it up, and I just want to open this flap here, because you can see that she put on her makeup with just a piece of cotton. Just a flat cotton bud. But it's this really sweet design. It's got this man kneeling and this woman, and it seems like they're sort of in a garden of flowers. This is probably my most impressive compact. I think if I had to show only one compact in my collection, this Evans compact would be the one I would show. So, it's not currently working, but this would have been, back in the 1930s, a working watch on a compact. And if I open her up, there you can see where the mechanics for the watch would be. That's a powder, and this, if I can get the little cover of it, that is a blush that still has quite a lot of the original colour in it, which is this beautiful sort of rosy pink. If I wasn't too sensitive about what I put on my skin, I probably would have tried to swatch it, but I won't do that. So yes, this I bought on Vinted for £35, slightly higher up in what I normally pay. I've never seen one like this before, certainly not at a price that I was still willing to buy. I think with the working watch they're about £150, and who knows, maybe one day I'll get the watch working on it again. Next up is another very simple Stratton compact with lovely images of ducks amongst the reeds. What is interesting about this compact, however, is it's my first ever compact that I bought, and it has this little powder puff in it. It says cream puff, and now cream puff I believe was Max Factor, and I think you can still buy it today. It was, or is, a foundation, I think, and in a lot of the old magazines that I collect they have a lot of advertisements for cream puff. So this next one is another Kiku compact. I just think this one is so gorgeous. I've seen it on Etsy for over £100. There's a couple of little chips in the paint, but not a lot. And I'll just open it. Again, really beautiful on the inside. I don't think, I will check, but I don't think, no, there's nothing inside, no powder and no powder puff. But I still just think it's such a stunning compact. So this little compact is the second sure who this is from. It might be my great aunt again. It's got this darling little dog on it, but I have absolutely no idea who he is. I've never seen a compact like this. I've tried that Google reverse image search and I can't find it anywhere. It says beauty box rov.pat 19184. That's what it looks like on the inside. So really, really unique compact, I think. Next up is another of my absolute favourite Kiku compacts. I love the design around the outside. I love the roses. It's so beautiful. Again, it's got a very fancy inside, so you slide that and it comes open. I'll have another check again, but I don't believe. No, this one's completely cleaned out and completely empty. I think a lot of sellers tend to clean them out. I think perhaps in case you want to go and put your own powders in it. Personally, I prefer them to look used. This is the last of the family heirloom compacts, and it's this lucite top, and it's supposed to look like a basket of flowers originally. There would have been a handle that would have come down. Until this morning, I had no idea it was a compact. I had no idea. I don't even know how I'd never clocked that it was before, but I just didn't. It's got Kiku's engraving on the bottom, and I think it's considered these days quite a rare piece, although obviously this one doesn't have the classic handle. You can see the little holes there where the handle should be. Next up is this other, and it's quite worn, a Stratton bird compact. I think the design is so beautiful. However, a lot of them have got quite chipped, and inside the mirror is cracked. Just blowing the powder away. So it's seen better days, but I just thought the design was so charming. I just couldn't resist picking it up. I won't linger with this one for too long because it's not interesting. It's a 1960s or 50s Stratton compact, and it's just plain gold. It's classy, but it's a little bit boring. Again, same with this one. Stratton again. Probably not quite as old. Very boring. Nothing going on there. This is back in the days when I didn't have a lot of compacts, and if I saw one out, I'd just pick anything up. I can't do that now. I can't do that now because I just have too many compacts. This is a gorgeous, matches my nails, rose compact. Stratton, slightly older because we've got the star design and the Stratton name in the middle, which means it's sort of probably more 60s, 70s. But it's so gorgeous. Completely cleaned out on the inside. But I just think it's such a beautiful, beautiful compact, and it's not chipped or rubbed off at all. It's in really lovely condition. Next up we have a very, very unique, tiny little compact. This is a contact lenses compact. I didn't know they existed until I found this. That would have been for your eye drop solution. Right contact, left contact. So yeah, this could be from the 20s or the 30s. I think, given the design, very geometric, very art deco. But yeah, I had no idea compacts existed to keep your contact lenses in. And how cute and classy is this one? This doesn't look very special. Oh, but boy is it. This is a Hubicont compact. It's from the 1930s. It's barely been touched. Look, I'm literally shaking holding it. At the immaculate condition that powder puff is in. And the powder, I don't know how well it's picking this up, but the powder has the original indentation lines, like the original print. And you can almost read the word Hubicont in it. I mean, it's virtually unused. It's from the 1930s. It's nearly 100. It's nearly 100 years old, and it's barely been touched. And I feel so fortunate to own it. This is another tingles. And if I open it up, look at that Vogue powder puff. Absolutely exquisite. The reason I like it so much, however, is it's the